My wedding ring still felt warm when I saw the texts. A gut punch I'll never forget. Mark's face was tight with suppressed agony as he stared at the laptop on the suburban kitchen counter, noticing the blurry, low-light texts and the bright pink lipstick tube beside the sink. A framed wedding photo of him and Sarah was quickly glimpsed before he methodically packed only a small, dark duffel bag of essential items, placing a single signed note on the mahogany dining room table. The last act of his old life was dropping the house key silently into the open mailbox on the street as his pickup truck pulled slowly away from the pristine two-story colonial house at dawn, passing the sign that read, "Welcome to Willow Creek, Esterter 1888. He checked a map app calculating a route to a distant coastal town, checking into a rundown motel far from any major highway, the entire painful exit culminating in the sun, setting over a deserted stretch of beach, total silence finally washing over him. 1 year later, Mark was completely dark, a ghost in his own life working quietly on a small fishing boat dock, his skin weathered and darker. He drank alone, checking a bar menu with a cheap beer special, and silently deleted a draft email to his lawyer about the amicable divorce they'd never had. He bought a generic birthday card, ready to mail to his child, and had his blood pressure checked at a small-town doctor's office, showing the toll the stress had taken. He even watched a high school football game from the fence, clearly missing being a dad. When his phone rang, an unknown number, he immediately silenced the ringer with a shaking hand, checking the lock on his motel room door in a sudden wave of paranoia. He quickly saw a social media post from a mutual friend showing Sarah looking thin and red-eyed, causing him to drop his head into his hands. But that grief was immediately shattered when the sleek, expensive SUV headlights cut through the coastal fog, parking directly across the street from his cheap motel as Sarah stepped out, looking tired but focused. She had tracked him down. Sarah walked with purpose across the pavement toward Mark's motel door, which he opened, his face a mask of cold resignation. With a strange mix of anger and desperation, she delivered the curveball. "The alimony paperwork came through, but that's not why I'm here, Mark." He stepped back slightly, letting her see his apartment, which was empty except for a bed, responding coldly. "What do you want, Sarah?" "I'm done playing your game." She handed him a court document, the heading clearly reading paternity challenge. Mark looked down, his mouth slightly open in shock as she finished. "He left me too, Mark, but now I know. That child, the one you ghosted, he's yours." Mark's hand crumpled the document, his whole body shaking with the new, devastating realization as he looked out at the ocean. Betrayal, grief, and fatherhood colliding. The final moral weight of their choices hanging between them, leaving him to face the hardest part of justice, accepting the innocent collateral damage.